Hey Joanna, I hope you can ignore the music in the background because my flatmates are here and I'm trying to kind of make it so they can't hear me talking to myself, so hopefully it's not too loud. So your hair looks very pretty. I mean, I liked your long hair before you cut it last time, but I think you look nice with short hair as well. And I think you should bring your posters back. I like looking at your posters, especially, yeah, some specific posters of people. And like the fairy lights look really pretty though, so I don't know, maybe you can incorporate them both together. I'm not saying you should bring the posters back, but you should. So about just buying new underwear so I don't have to do laundry, well, I'm a uni student, but not only am I a uni student, I'm an exchange uni student, which means I'm broke, so who can afford underwear these days? What? So I have like so much stuff written down because I have no memory. Yeah, so sorry for the late reply again, but it's just I've been really busy with uni and stuff, but luckily I am now a free elf into September, until like the 19th of September, so I want to do like a lot of travelling, maybe to like Scotland and Ireland, because it's someplace I really want to go, but again I'm broke, so I would probably just end up staying here and reading and watching stuff. Because yeah, I'm trying to finish Pride and Prejudice because I started it when I was in Amsterdam and I got back, and because of uni I didn't have a chance to finish it, even though I managed to watch some things like Game of Thrones and stuff. But yeah, I'm like 30 pages away from finishing it, and I tried finishing it last night, but I ended up going to bed at 12:30 because I can't handle late nights. So I'm just going to keep this kind of short or short-ish, because I don't really have a lot to talk about because I haven't been up to much. Yeah, and it's like, I think 1:30, 2 o'clock. I stopped looking at the time when I started listening to music, but I love this song. Anyway, so thank you for teaching me what Poetry Slam was, and I don't remember what you said the other poetry thing was that you went to, spoken word poetry or something like that, but it would have been fun to go. I really miss gimmicks. Like, there's a bookstore here, but it's not the same. So yeah, your poem that you came up with on the bus was pretty, it was really good. It's nice to see that people can make nice poetry without having to go right into like the deep stuff that doesn't, yeah, you know, you can talk about ordinary things and make them beautiful, if you know what I mean. So yeah, I have like so many notes. And also, thank you for singing for me. It was really pretty. The song reminded me of like folk music. Maybe one day, if I ever manage to publish anything and then it gets turned into a TV show, you can sing the intro, you know? I literally just finished exams, like to answer your first question, on Friday. I had 3. The first one was on the 9th, and then I had one on the 10th, and then I had about a week and a half, and then I had one on the 20th, and I was like really nervous about the one that was on the 20th because, like, oh my god, the class is just so full of like so much stuff, and it's too much stuff, and usually with like English classes and stuff, you can focus on certain parts to revise, but this classics class is like, there's no way to go about it. You have to revise the whole semester, and I was just like, that is too much information. But I got there and I managed to answer the 3 essay questions we had to answer in 3 hours. But that 3 hours was including like planning and then reading at the end, so wow, it was hard, but I did it, so I'm happy. I've watched one episode of Teen Wolf. I watched it last night. I was a little confused because I hadn't seen it in so long. I didn't know what was going on. I forgot about like the Dread Doctors and stuff, and I forgot that Styles and Scott weren't really friends. But yeah, I'm gonna watch some more, hopefully, soon, after I finish Pride and Prejudice. I have like 8 books I want to read, and like I have so many shows to catch up on. Like I need to watch the next season of Vikings because I haven't seen it yet, and I need to start watching the next season of Outlander. Yeah, I've managed to keep up with Game of Thrones, and oh my god, it is so intense. It's so good. I'm like, oh my god, Jon Snow. But anyway, yeah. So my favorite poem. I usually don't have a favorite poem just because I find poems difficult to read, just because I don't really get a lot out of them. Like it's hard to understand what they're meant to be about, and reading them for uni did ruin them a bit for me because I don't know, like they're just reading things for uni just makes them not good, makes it boring. That makes no sense. But yeah, but then there was one poem in particular from John Keats that we learned, Ode to a Nightingale, and we actually went through it stanza by stanza and kind of interpreted what it meant, and I don't know, I just thought it was such a beautiful poem. It had a lot of meaning behind it, and yeah, and for me, like, I mean, obviously, from what a poet wrote can mean different things to the reader, and for me, I kind of read it as so John Keats died very young. He was only 26. He was really sick. So and his poem was composed like 2 years before he died. And for me, I feel like he's writing about escaping the pain of death and escaping life with the music of the nightingale, and I just thought it was really pretty. So I thought that I would read it to you. It's like 8 stanzas long though, so hopefully that's okay. But I am going to read it separately from my filming, if that makes sense, and then insert it in now.
Thou wast not born for death, immortal bird. No hungry generations tread thee down. The voice I hear this passing night was heard in ancient days by emperor and clown. Perhaps the self-same song that found a path through the sad heart of Ruth when sick for home. She stood in tears amid the alien corn, the same that oft times hath charmed magic casements opening on the foam of perilous seas in fairylands forlorn. Forlorn, the very word is like a bell to toll me back from thee to my soul's self. Adieu, the fancy cared not cheat so well as she is famed to do, deceiving elf. Adieu, adieu, the plaintive anthem fades, past the near meadows, over the still stream, up the hillside, and now 'tis burned deep in the next valley glades. Was it a vision or a waking dream? Fled is that music, do I wake or sleep?
Yeah, so I thought it was, I just think it's so beautiful, and I'm actually considering getting the last 2 lines tattooed with nightingales on my chest. Was it a vision or a waking dream? Fled is that music, do I wake and sleep? Just because it really touched me, I guess. That doesn't... Yeah, I do have poems that I've written, but I don't feel comfortable sharing them. A couple of them are really depressing, and I don't know why. So I've decided to finally back up my stories that I've been writing onto a USB just in case my computer dies, because I'm scared that it's going to. So I went through all my stories, and like apart from some really scary fan fiction about Metallica and Guns N' Roses, I found some poems that I wrote, and one was called Sad Poem and one was called Sad Poem 2, and I read them and I was just thinking, what was wrong with me when I was a teenager? Like, I was a very like emo person, but I wasn't. Like, I don't even remember writing those poems, but they were scary. So, my favourite thing while travelling was Rome. Like, it was my favourite city, but I really loved going to the Colosseum and to the Roman Forum and to the Vatican, but we also did a day trip to Pompeii, and that was really interesting to see how it survived from that volcano. We saw Mount Vesuvius, and my friend I went with said that she was going to sacrifice me into the volcano because her mum was sick. Yeah, well, this isn't one of my questions, but I just wanted to ask you when you went to Rome, whether you went to Pompeii or not, because yeah, it was really nice, and it was really confronting as well, if that makes sense. So another one of my favourite things was, I had to write this on a separate page. No, here it is. Oh my god, like meeting Rachel Kane and Cassandra Clare, two of my favourite authors, was amazing. Like, Rachel Kane was such a nice person, and I got to I sat at the front of when she was like speaking to people, and she talked to us before she even started, and she was so lovely, and like she gave me a hug and I took a photo with her, and it was awesome. But then with Cassandra Clare, there was so many people there, so it was really hard to talk to her. We didn't even really go near her. Someone else handed her the books, and she only signed one thing that stamped everything else because she'd hurt her hand, but it didn't really get to talk to her much, but she was still lovely. So that was like one of my favourite things as well. And I went to London 2 weeks after I got back from travelling, and saw one of my favourite bands, Counterfeit, who is, like, the lead singer is Jamie Campbell Bower, which people, you would know from Sweeney Todd. He played Anthony and sung Joanna. But yeah, it was amazing. He was so good. The band was so good, and the songs were like, oh my god. But like 2 weeks ago, I was taken to see an amateur performance of Sweeney Todd, and it was so good. I was like, oh my god. And this isn't something I've done, but I'm doing it. On the 20th of June, I am going to Shakespeare's Globe to see A Midsummer Night's Dream, and I'm so excited because it's like my favourite play of his, and oh my god, I'm so excited. But yeah, you already knew about that. But yeah, I'm gonna take so many photos, and oh my god. Anyway, so for my questions, one, did your family bike all the way to Mt Gambiar, or did they drive and then use their bikes? Because that's a long way. It's like 10 hours or like 8 hours with a car. Like, oh my god. So, if they did bike it all the way there, they were very dedicated. Second question, do you have many exams this semester, and when are you done completely with the semester? Because the dates are always different each year, I guess. Third question, do you have anything fun planned for the break? Are you going anywhere? Are you doing anything? Are you going to do some singing or like busking in Brundle or anything like that? But yeah, so that is it for my questions, and that's all I'm gonna record because I have no idea what else to do. I'm again stuck in my room doing nothing. I don't even think I'm gonna go anywhere. Before I did my exam, I hadn't left the flat for like a week. But anyway, so I will leave it at that, and I look forward to your reply.